Hi, I'm Sue Rayner, and this is my intercultural speech. It is titled One Nation Under God, and my specific purpose is to persuade you that as the Hispanic population grows here in the United States, that we should accept their traditions and their values as our own, and try our best to live in peace and harmony. 14 years ago, Jose, his uncle, his aunt, and his three cousins began their 3-day walk from Veracruz, Mexico. After the death of his parents, their home was seized by the government, and the 16-year-old and his family were left homeless. As beautiful as the coastal towns are to the eyes of a tourist, the heart of the city is ravaged by poverty and crime. Jose and his family's story is just one of many of the growing Hispanic population in the United States. Along with their stories, they bring with them their traditions and values and merge them with our own. Interview, library, and internet research indicates that Hispanic holidays are similar to the holidays celebrated here in America, and some are even more important here in America. Our children are being taught Spanish in the school systems. We hear the spoken word on the street, at our workplace, in government offices. The written language is seen on labels in our stores. To introduce you to the culture of Mexico, let's explore their traditions, their holidays, and values being brought to the United States by the migrating population. Let's start by looking at the growth of the Hispanic population and why. CNN reported in March of this year the reports from the United States Census Bureau. According to them, the Hispanic population grew 43% since 2000 and has become more racially diverse. According to the United States Census Bureau, 16.3% of the United States is Hispanic, making it the second largest group in the United States. There are now 50.5 million Hispanics in the United States, and numbers account for more than half of our nation's growth. The reasons for migrating to the United States in general are the same for most Hispanics. According to Jose, the economic state of Mexico is hidden from the tourist, and just as Jose and his family migrated here because of the economy, so did tens of thousands of others. Poverty, crime, and the dictatorship of the government all contribute to the reasons that people leave Mexico. And this migration will continue on a daily basis. Now we will now discuss the language that is now being spoken in the United States. Spanish language is now more common and being spoken more by the Americans. Spanish is spoken by Jose and his children in their home. Tara, his wife, is an American, and she speaks a form of Spanglish. It's a combination of Spanish and English being spoken more and more in the Mexican-American homes today. Spanish is being taught in private and public schools across the board. Government offices and healthcare agencies provide translation services to Hispanics. Documents and forms are written and available in both languages, and stores provide both translations on their product labels. Continuing on, we will take a look at the Mexican food that we now enjoy in America. Traditional Mexican food is a defining aspect of Mexican culture and is enjoyed by most everyone here in America. Jose and Tara's meals consist of a combination of American and Spanish or Mexican food. Jose and one of the children eat hot peppers on everything, and if you look in their cupboard, just like loaf bread is a common staple in American homes, so is corn tortillas. Authentic Mexican restaurants are as abundant in our communities as steakhouse, and they are oftentimes run and operated by native Mexicans. We will also take a look at the Mexican holidays that Americans enjoy celebrating in addition to our own. Mexican holidays have similarities to our own, and some are even celebrated more in the United States. Halloween is celebrated in America on October 31st. The dead are portrayed as something to be afraid of, and children visit grave sites only on a dare, and darkness is always a part of that scene. Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is celebrated in Mexico on November the 2nd. It is a celebration in honor of their deceased relatives. Altars are set up in their homes, and they're decorated with all kinds of things, and they put out a whole feast of the deceased person's favorite foods and beverages. According to the History Channel, I'm sorry, that's wrong. According to Dale Palfrey, reporting from MexConnect, the feast is provided as adequate sustenance for their journey. Now, if Jose were in Mexico, his parents' burial plot will be cleaned up and decorated, and there would be, on November 2nd, there will be this huge reunion between his family and his deceased parents. And there would be the glow of illuminated candles, illuminating the way for the departed, and then the tolling of the bells is for their departure, to call them home. It is an American custom to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, but really this is a British custom. It's called, and the day it starts is called the Boxing Day. It's the 12 days, or supposedly stand for the 12 days it took the wise man to find the baby Jesus. But it is a Mexican custom to celebrate 9 days of Las Posadas. And these 9 days represent the 9 days that Mary, carried baby Jesus in her womb. Posadas, according to Jose, means lodging in Spanish, and in the celebration reenacts Mary and Joseph's difficult journey to Bethlehem looking for lodging. The last Posada is followed by Midnight Mass. Cinco de Mayo, wow, everybody knows what Cinco de Mayo is. It is celebrated on the 5th day of May, and it is the celebration of Mexican Army's 1862 victory over France. According to the Hispanic channel, it is not as big a holiday in Mexico as it is here in the United States. The children do get the day off from school, but they would have to travel to specific cities to join in the celebration. In the United States, it's become a huge celebration of Mexican culture and heritage in areas largely populated by the Mexican Americans. There are parades, music, street festivals. Jose and his family, they have they make a really big day of celebration with music, dancing, fireworks. In conclusion, as more and more Hispanics migrate to this country and families evolve from marriages amongst themselves and interracially, we should find a way to live in peace and harmony. Today I gave you the Hispanic population, which made them the number 2 group in the country. We know that this number is going to increase, just as the English and the Native Americans, and then the Americans and the Africans mixed and mingled their families and their cultures and became as one, so will Americans and Mexicans. And as we become one nation under God, how long will it take us to come to the point where we live in peace and harmony?